So this is the question you've all been waiting for. Who is going to win the Mr. Olympia? I think the winner of the 2025 Classic Physique Mr. Olympia is leg day, guys. A very important day for me. If you follow me, you know I've come from Australia and Shanghai, mostly Australia, because the meet and greet was amazing. Thank you guys very much for being there and showing me that bodybuilding is very much alive on the other side of the world. But today I'm also going to answer a lot of your most frequently asked questions. So let's get started. One question I've gotten quite a lot is, will you be at the Mr. Olympia this year? I, of course, won't be competing myself, but that doesn't mean I won't be going to Las Vegas. I'll still be going there regardless of competing or not. So I want to see exactly who's going to win the title so I can see who I'm up against next year. So you can see me at the Raw and ESN stage Friday in between 12 and 2 p.m. and the Saturday between 3 and 5 p.m. And the big benefit here, of course, I'm not competing, so I'll be there for you guys with full energy to answer your questions, take a picture, whatever you guys want. I'll be there to support bodybuilding. So this is the question you've all been waiting for. Who is going to win the Mr. Olympia? Now, in the open category, I think there's going to be now a more interesting battle than last time. As pretty much every champion of the open and everyone who is very close together is now competing. Last year it excluded Nick, and let just that be the guy who can make things very interesting. As I predicted, he was going to beat Derek at Pittsburgh before, which he didn't, but I still think he kind of did, and other people do as well. I think he is gonna be a very interesting player in this Olympia, and he might even win the whole thing. I do still think Samson is going to win, but only if he is a little bit fuller than what he displayed at the last guest performance, because yes, the conditioning was there, but he still needs that mass to overpower that monster-like mass monster physique of Nick Walker, because if he achieved the fullness and the conditioning and a little bit better improvement on top of the New York Pro, I think he could and he might as well win the whole thing. And then we also have Hadi, of course, Hadi Choopan. I believe he's still being coached by Hani, which would be a unique thing because Hani was like, I'm not going to coach anymore, but I think Hadi doesn't really care about that, so they're still together. So that could be a very dangerous dark horse as well. He might be all the way up until second place, I think second or third, and I think Derek will be fourth. Regardless of anything, I think the top three will be Nick or Samson, then Hadi, and then Derek. So that will be the top four. And then it's going to be a very interesting matchup, but I think something nice to talk about as well is Urs, of course, going for his open debut in the Olympia. He was 3 times third place in Classic, so he wants to do very well in the open, and I think he could do well up until number 8 spot. I think that's a possibility for him, which a top 10 in the open class is an incredible achievement. And I'll be there to witness it live for myself. And I really want to see how big this guy is in real life. Oh. Oy, oy, oy. Oh. After the surgery, I really need to take the isolation exercises more serious. This is the only way to truly overload the legs right now, apart from like a bell squat, for example, but feels good. Oh. So people also wonder what are my calories right now and my body weight. So calories have actually been quite steady for a long time, around 5,000 calories at the moment. I used to eat 6,000 calories last year and didn't even reach this body weight with this conditioning, which is a good sign that I'm not just eating and burning at the same time too much, kind of wasting the calories, but actually using them for growth. And body weight is also, well, I've of course had the surgery, I've had some travel, so it hasn't changed for about a month, which is good to kind of solidify your body weight. But it's around 131 kilos at the moment, which down point was 126 after the surgery, so I did kind of regain that weight again. But nothing that goes up too quickly is a good sign, so always nice and steady, let it go upwards. So yeah, that's the body weight right now. And then of course you might also wonder, how high do you want it to go? Well, as high as it should go, as it has to go to be better for next time. And then, Wesley, aren't you too lean for an off season? You want to build some muscle, right? Well, right now I'm more than 15 kilos, pure kilos, like 35 pounds over my weight limit, which means that no, I'm not trying to stay lean at all. I'm just trying to stay healthy, which means not putting on unnecessary body fat, which you need to diet off anyway. So the conditioning I have is just a byproduct of the dieting process, which is gaining a little bit of weight every single week. And if you stay healthy, if you stay active, like if you have 2 children, it's going to be very difficult to gain that body fat, which is unnecessary anyway. But who doesn't want to stay, at least look lean in the off season? That's the best way, in my opinion, to do so, as long as you have the luxury of gaining the weight and staying lean at the same time. So people also want to know is, what are my 3 favorite supplements during a bulk? Because normally I never had a true long off season, never needed really supplements for the bulk per se, because my appetite was still good enough. But after a while, I actually start to notice I'm not really that hungry for my meals anymore. It's just, I know I need to eat every few hours and I just do it. So getting the calories in a supplement form sometimes does help getting the calories in, but you want to do it in a logical way. So I take intra, for example, which means carbohydrates and EAAs together inside the workout window, because now you don't eat normally and you don't consume any calories, but you might as well get the calories in right now in the form of carbohydrates, as that promotes muscle performance, aka muscle growth as well at the same time. And the EAAs will simply provide the anti-catabolic effect. So it tastes amazing, you get a lot of hydration, so that's supplement number 1. Of course, creatine, as we all know, but I don't take 5 grams. I don't take 10 grams. I don't take 20 grams. I take 25 grams. Wait a second, Wesley, are you insane? Yes, maybe I am. But to keep that insanity down a little bit, I take the 25 grams because not only is it good for the muscle, which caps out the effect at about 10 to 15 grams, all the rest you take is good for the brain. So if you, for example, know that you are sleep deprived, for example, I flew to Australia and back, so jet lag, creatine can help actually recover your brain in terms of feeling clarity during the day and actually literally recover those neurons from being sleep deprived and feeling a lot better. And there's a lot of other benefits like preventing Alzheimer sooner in life, for example, stuff like that. So creatine is a must. And number 3, well, how can I, well, it's kind of a debate, but let's keep it in food terms, would be, of course, the whey drip. Whey drip, because I use it with at least 2 of my meals in the day. It's an easy protein source, very low stomach volume, so your appetite doesn't decrease with it. It's delicious, and I use it with every single breakfast and post-workout meal. Oh, by the way, guys, right now, everything 25% off, which is incredible. Code Wesley, let's go. Oh, oh man. Isolation is done. Now it's time for the first compound to work on those horse legs. Let's go. Oh. So, another interesting question is, when will I start my prep for the next show? So prep will start depending on what me and my coach Stefan Kienzel think of my progress so far. So it might be in November, December, or maybe later. But as I've said from the beginning, it depends on if I'm truly ready to win the next show, no matter which show it's going to be. And that simply requires time, guys. Bodybuilding is a sport that takes time. I personally don't want to do anything that rushes anything either, as you will either sacrifice quality of the physique, health, or anything like that, which I don't want to do. I've done this sport for a long time now, and I've been better every single year. And it's my true goal to make the largest leap so far on the next competition compared to the previous one. That's my goal, and it's a possibility, and it'll happen. My personal preference would be to start prep before the end of the year, but as I mentioned, me and my coach will make that decision together, because then I know for sure that shape will be one for the record books. You may have noticed already, but I'm wearing a very special t-shirt. One of the last two t-shirts remaining in the Dutch O collection of Abel. As you can see, wearing right now, the golden mentality. Will be out September 30, limited stock, guys. So this is the first of the full graphic edition t-shirts. With code Wesley, you can get the best price. And at the same moment, you support me. But as always, enough talk, let's work. Now, of course, the most important question of the day. Who do I think is going to win the Classic Physique Mr. Olympia? I'll be at the Vissers myself. It's going to be an awesome show. And there are pretty much 4 to 5 very close contenders, but I think with one obvious winner. But we have Rough Diesel, we have Logan Franklin, we have Mike Sommerfeld, of course, we have Josema. Am I missing anyone? Ramon, of course. We can't forget about the dinosaur, Ramon Dino. I think that's going to be the top 5, but in what order? So ultimately, I think the winner of the 2025 Classic Physique Mr. Olympia is Mike Sommerfeld. Yes, he was of course the Arnold Classic champion of this year. Second to him was Logan Franklin, but I think he delivered an undeniable package of conditioning, fullness, presentation, which I always think is very important. And I think it's very difficult to beat. The only one who comes close in presentation are 2 guys, Logan Franklin and Rough Diesel. But they both kind of miss, I think, the mass that Mike does have. And his updates are kind of undeniable. Anything can happen, obviously, but if I had to bet, I think Mike will win it. But then we have a very interesting top 5, 4 other guys. You know, it's going to be very, very interesting between Ramon and Rough Diesel. Who is going to be the champion out of the 2? Both of them were second to Chris multiple times. So, yeah, if Ramon nails it with the conditioning and with the improvements he made, I think he might get second. If Rough Diesel has improved from New York Pro with fullness and a bit more conditioning, and Ramon isn't 100%, then Rough might be second. So that's going to be a very close battle. I really hope it's going to be like a top 3 final call out between those 3 guys. Number 4, I do believe, will be Logan Franklin. He really surprised me with the Arnold Classic, looked great. Pose routine, top notch. Conditioning, really, really good. And also more fullness than usual. If he improves upon that, it's going to be hard to beat as well. And then number 5 will be, I think, Hosema. Of course, my fellow ESN colleague. A very, very nice guy, but the driest guy I've ever seen on stage. I even thought he could have won against Rough Diesel at Pittsburgh just because of his conditioning, and he is pretty big as well. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. But guys, now saying all those names, there's one more name that should be added to that list. And that's why I'm going to be working a bit harder right now. See you later. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to stay golden.